Rev up your engines!
Well, if you own a Kia or Hyundai, you may be able to get a $3,375 direct deposit from Kia and Hyundai. And what does this go back to? This goes back to their crappy cars that didn't have good anti-theft systems. They thought, oh, we can just make them cheap. And then, of course, there's that Kia challenge like people did. They run around stealing cars, and then they smash into things. Now, this refund is part of a court settlement, but it's going to run out soon, so you have to apply. If you own one of these things, I would say don't buy it in the first place, but if you're ever had, maybe you get some money back from them. Kia and Hyundai reached a $145 million settlement to compensate their customers, right? Because of anti-theft technology. The settlement was reached without either manufacturer admitting any wrongdoing. This is a hilarious thing. They pay out this money. Well, we didn't do anything wrong. Well, why is it that way? Because of legalese horse manure. If they admitted they did wrong, then everybody can take them to court and sue them, right? Well, you did wrong, so I'm going to sue you. Maybe they stole your car smashed and killed somebody or something. You know, they don't want to be responsible for that. Well, we didn't do anything wrong, but here's a bunch of money. What horse manure society we live in. They make these things. They don't make them right. And then they give away millions of dollars saying, well, we didn't do anything wrong. We're just nice guys. Here's some money. I'd love to see what the lawyers got paid for this. So just because they decided not to put a mobilizer in, and everybody else had been doing for a really long time, in the keys so they can't steal the car, they just thought, oh, we won't even bother. And then people went around stealing the cars. It shows how stupid these people are. Today with the internet, once somebody figures things out, in a millisecond, the whole world is told about it. And they're doing things like, oh, they're handing out clubs, free clubs to lock your steering. Come on, that's old technology. They should be forced to fix them all, put immobilizer systems in them all. It can be done. It would just cost them an awful lot of money. So they went the cheap route and said, oh, well, we'll pay $145 million. If they would have had to done all those cars over with immobilizer systems, it would have cost them a fortune. Oh, here's a steering wheel lock. Who the heck? That's dinosaur technology. They're doing that stuff in the 70s and 80s. You know, we got better things. Immobilizer keys. They should have been forced to put immobilizer keys in all of them. Not, oh, well, here's a club. That's inconvenient. When people lock their car with a club, then you got to unlock it. And nobody's going to be doing that. It's ridiculous, you know. They come up with these ridiculous solutions like they're solving the problem. No, they aren't. The only solving the problem would be to put immobilizer keys in them all, and it would have cost them too much money. It was so much for Hyundai and Genesis and their high-performance model vehicles. They just recalled 54,000 of them because they didn't make them right, and they can just stop running. Real high performance there. I guess what you get is high performance or no performance and nothing in between. An extreme vehicle, right? They didn't make the fuel pump systems right. Pieces get in it, jam up, they stop running. Can you imagine? Oh, you're in your high performance car going down the road. All of a sudden, boop, boop, it stops. I've been warning people for years. Don't buy Hyundai or Genesis cars. They are not made that well. This just proves it. And you know, when they recall 54,000 of them, the problem is probably more endemic than that. And they're just getting away with the absolute minimum that they can get away with the recall. I've had so many customers over the years. They'll say, well, I got this car. It's not recalled, but it's pretty much the same engine and transmission as the other model recalled. What can I do? I said, well, nothing you can do because they didn't recall it yet. Just hope that it breaks while it's under warranty, so you end up getting it fixed for free. Right? But like I say, stay away from these companies. They make crappy vehicles. I was reading a hilarious article. I couldn't help but laugh. The guy says, everything in Hyundai is Temu quality now. Guy's got a 2023 Hyundai Elantra, and you saw how cheap they are. They creak, they rattle, the plastic is such junk, right? Well, if you don't know what Temu is, that's a Chinese website where all the cheap crap from China is sold. You know, you're going to get something when it says only $19.99. You go, like, well, gee, the good ones are $150. How can they sell them for $19.99? Yeah, they can because they're junky copies. Now, this guy, he was only talking about the interiors, not even the motors that are blowing up, the transmissions. He's talking about they're so cheaply made that you can just feel that they're going to crack as they age. So he gets in the car and he squeezes the interior with his hand and he says, it's a tiny creaky sound like a cheap plastic toy. Creaker, creaker. Of course, they're making them as cheap as they can. So then he checks the Elantra's radio, the dash screen, the instrument panel, and the door, and they all creak. And then he gives a sarcastic thumbs up. And another person said about their 2022 Hyundai, and I quote, pretty much every review points out the cheap materials and cheap feel of the interior. Yeah, they're cheaply made cars, no arguing that. I'm not impressed with the Hyundai plastic. It can be scratched with your fingernail or anything. As another person said, and of course, this is the absolute truth, they fool the eye with their nice interiors. They have lots of great design teams who make great interiors to look at, but then they make them as cheap as they possibly can. Look, don't touch, like an art gallery kind of. Look, but don't touch the art. Well, look, but don't touch anything in the car because it might break. And I mean, Volkswagen's been making cheap plastic stuff for decades. Same thing, the Volkswagens are really cheaply made inside. Plastic crap, when it gets to be a few years old, all snaps off. Same thing with the Kias. Gabriel Dell says, Scotty, what do you think of the new 2025 Mini Cooper having no oil dipstick and only available in automatic? A lot of BMWs did that, so you have to rely on a sensor. I think it's stupid. How can you even tell if you overfilled or if the oil's dirty? Well, of course you can't tell. They just go by numbers. Well, change your oil every 8,000 miles or every so long. No, you got to be able to see it and you got to be able to check it. The funny thing was, years back, Mercedes had some cars, they took the dipsticks out. The owners who spent all this money on Mercedes got so mad they put the dipsticks back in. This is just plain stupidity, but it's Mini. Mini is owned by BMW, right? They still have a lot of German engineering. Of course, English engineering isn't that good either, right? But taking out of those is a dire mistake because I'll tell you the truth of the matter is, my neighbor in Houston had two of them, they both burned oil. First one blew up. They just don't make them very well, and you definitely want to have a dipstick, so you can see, hey, am I low in oil? Do I have to add oil? They just assume, see, their whole thing is so yuppie. Well, you're buying a new Mini. Hey, when it gets old, you should buy another new Mini. Disposable cars. Hey, I'm surprised they don't make them that you can't change the oil when it gets dirty. You buy another car. Boy 1G says, my car won't start after I used a voltage tester. Scotty got an 06 Volkswagen Passat. I stuck a voltage tester in a cigarette lighter. A huge spark came out when I tried to start it. It turns over and it won't start. It shorted something out, obviously. Now, here's the thing that I warn people about. You probably had a bad voltage testing machine, probably some junk made in China. They're the only ones that plug in the cigarette lighter. When I test it, I put clamps on the battery under the hood. That's the real way you test it with a real meter, right? You get one of these plug-in ones, and now it has shorted things out. You got a spark, that shorted things out. It's a Volkswagen. Man, oh man, oh man. But if I were you, I would go through all the fuse boxes and hope it just popped a fuse and didn't wreck a computer module. Let's hope that's what happened. But this is why I tell people, cigarette lighters, they're only made for a small amount of power. You don't want to overpower. I've seen people, they'll plug in, they'll have 8 USBs plugged in, one to another coming out of that. They're not made for that much power. Pray it just blew a fuse and didn't destroy a module. I mean, it could be, but knowing Volkswagens, I've seen it wreck computer modules too. They're very complex things. They have dozens of computer modules in the cars that would make your head spin. If you knew how complex those things, if you did know how complex those, you'd probably never buy one. Well, let me tell you, sometimes advertising makes me so mad, I just want to go berserk. I was watching a football game, watching Aaron Rodgers, right? And then United Airlines has this ad, and it made me throw up. Couples going there saying, oh, look on our phone. They're holding the flight for us. Isn't that great? Okay, well, that's advertising baloney. Here's the real world. Years ago, I was coming back from my son's wedding. We were going from Buffalo to Chicago, then Chicago to Houston. We're in Buffalo, and we said, hey, we're going to miss our plane. United said, don't worry, we're holding the plane for you. In Chicago, don't worry, right? So we get on the plane in Buffalo, we get to Chicago, and lo and behold, of course, they did not hold the plane. And it wasn't like we were the only people, because this is back in the day when a lot of people had moved from Buffalo to Houston, so a lot of people traveled back, and there were a bunch of people with us that were also going to Houston from Buffalo, stopping in Chicago. So we get in Chicago and say, we held the plane. We get there. No, they didn't hold the plane. So we're saying, oh, this is ridiculous, right? What did they say? Well, here's vouchers for another airline to fly you. Great, right? So I had to run through 3 terminals Chicago. I got to the other airline, showed them the voucher, and they said, this voucher is worth nothing. It's not any good. You can't ride on our plane. So I had to go back to United, wait in a 3-hour line, and then, wham, what do? Well, we got another flight coming. All right, they put us on the plane almost midnight, and a guy was sitting next to us looking at his phone. He was a computer guy. He says, "Oh, we can't fly. The pilot they're bringing in is already timed out." Well, lo and behold, we're in the plane, and then they come and they say, "Oh, well, the pilot's timed out. We can't fly." So at 1 o'clock in the morning, they sent us to a hotel, and the other plane took up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So you got to get up early. So we got actually no sleep at all thanks to United and their horse manure, saying they held the plane and they didn't. So United, you know what I say to you? Your ads. "Oh, we hold planes for people." No, you don't. You're full of crap. You just lie to people and advertisers. That really paid me off. It was coming back from my son's wedding. At least it wasn't going there, so I'd be mad at the wedding, right? I was mad coming back. So you know what I say to all these ads? They're full of baloney. Anything they say in the ad, the exact opposite is true. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.